This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and oh my god! He's playing TEMUR Adventures again? This is not a different deck every day. This is the same deck. The deck doing the same frickin' things. Yeah, I know, guys. I know. I don't even enjoy playing Adventures. Okay, that's not true. Sometimes I enjoy playing Adventures. But it is a very monotonous deck, which is why I don't play it that often. But it is, in my opinion, by far the best deck in Standard 2021. Not close. I think a lot of people agree with me. I think it's also very... Just about anybody would look at the format and say, well, this deck loses pretty much nothing in rotation and is a broken engine from Eldraine. So yeah, that's probably a good Standard 2021 deck. I'm not saying nobody came up with this before me. I think most people who looked at the format for a while would know this is strong, but I did not know how strong. This deck feels unbeatable to me. The only thing that I've lost games with this deck to, it feels like, has been when I don't draw enough land. I can always look back and say I drew either too many tap lands or not enough lands, and that's what matters. So, with this version of the deck, I'm playing all the cards that you are so used to in this deck. All this, this has like been in the deck 4 of 3 of these, because the fourth one's in the sideboard, so you can fetch it if you need it, and 4 of these. Like, this has been the deck for its entire time in Standard. For the flex spot, I was like, okay, what helps me hit land drops and makes my deck more consistent? I'm trying out Of One Mind. 2 less to cast if you have a human and a non-human. Draw 2 cards. So for 1 blue, draw 2. It's really good. You may have heard of Light Up the Stage. Works out. And this card is castable off the Lovestruck Beast on its own. Can create what you need to play this. You can also have a curve like Edgewall Innkeeper into Fae of Wishes, and then you have a human and a non-human, and you play Of One Mind, and you draw 2. You can also have a curve that is make a human, play a Fae of Wishes, play Of One Mind, draw 2. Just trying to make sure you hit all the important parts of the deck, because honestly, I feel like that's all I need. A Brazen Borrower, a Bonecrusher Giant, an Escape to the Wilds, and enough land to cast them, which is the other thing. 28 land. Don't get got by the Shuffler. As long as you cast your spells, you are favored to win. So don't cut lands. Don't do it. You can always cycle your Triomes, you can scry away extra land. Just as long as you cast your spells, guys, you're gonna win. It's fine. No big deal. Because our card advantage engines are so cheap. Everybody else, they have to pay a lot for their big plays. Embercleave requires a board of creatures that you have to invest into. Great Henge requires a board with a big creature that you have to invest into first. These, you just cast them. And away you frickin' go. Uro, you gotta fill your graveyard. Like, it's kind of absurd how free the value is. The cost, unquote, is that you play with adventure cards. These are all 2-for-1s anyway, and their rates are stupid. Why is Lovestruck Beast a 5/5? Shouldn't it have been a 3/3? Aren't most Beast tokens 3/3s? Would that have been so bad? It's still a pretty good card. I bet it would have still been played in this deck as a 3/3. It's a freaking 5/5. Anyway. Sideboard. Sideboard is where Adventures lost the most, and you get a wish board because you're running Fae of Wishes. So, let's talk about Tormod's Crypt. Take that, Jeskai Cycling, or whatever cycling, Boros Cycling, whatever. The Cycling deck is another super linear deck that doesn't lose anything other than a few lands, so expect to see it a lot. But the big counter to it is to Fae of Wishes into a Tormod's Crypt and just hold that until they put a Zenith Flare on the stack. Watch out for double Zenith Flare. If they have 8 mana and more cycling cards in their graveyard than your life total, they can cast Zenith Flare. You can sacrifice this. They can cast a Flare in response. You have to be prepared for that line, which is why sometimes you'll see me, like, when they have 7 lands going into their 8th turn, I'll crack like Tormod's Crypt on their upkeep or something. Unsummon. We just need something to stay alive. Stay alive, you'll probably win. Red cap melee, hits Winota, hits red creatures. Mystic Repeal hits Annex. Don't forget, it hits the enchantment creatures. Annex is a big one to hit with a Mystic Repeal. Also great against Doom Foretold. Shadow Spear, it's the life gain. When you need life, that's what you get. Fling, like these are all holdovers from the last Wish board. What we're missing is Domri's Ambush and Aether Gust, and replacing those is really hard. I'm trying Scorching Dragonfire. We also lose Negate and Disdainful Stroke. I'm trying to replace those with Neutralize. Not sure how that's going to work out. I wasn't sure what would be Spyglassed in this meta, and then I started playing it. Yeah, I've Spyglassed like Garruk a lot. The mono green deck is not bad. I've also Spyglassed Embercleave and Castle Embereth, so they can't reattach things. Storm's Wrath, yeah. Once in Future, yeah. Like, these cards you've seen before. Ugin, the Spirit Dragon, the M21 card. Frickin' sweet to wish for when the Yorion deck is going to outvalue you. And the Domri's Ambush replacement I'm also trying as Primal Might, but this is like a backup Fling. If for some reason your Fling might get countered or something happens and you don't get to Fling, Primal Might can deal a ton of damage too. In fact, Primal Might and Fling is kind of a replacement for the Expansion Explosion combo, but Primal Might also just can be a great 1-mana fight spell. If you have 5 mana, a Fae of Wishes in hand, a Lovestruck Beast on the battlefield, you can go fetch a Primal Might to kill something smaller than the beast. It's sweet. But yeah, gotta play the deck. Gotta make a video of it, because at worst, you guys should watch it to know the enemy. Because it's really hard. It's really, really hard to beat the TEMUR Adventure deck if you don't know what's going on. If you don't know what lines they're gonna take and what they're gonna do. There are some cards out there that are very strong against it, and watching me play the deck and watching people play against it might give you a hint at what those are and how to beat it. Or, heck, if you just want to rank up and play the best deck and have a rotation-proof deck for the future, this is what I would jam. So let's dive in. Let the adventurous nonsense begin. The of one mind looks pretty bad here, but all we have to do is draw a Lovestruck Beast or an Edgewall Innkeeper for it to be good. But we don't have any interactive cards. We could get run over keeping a hand like this. So this is kind of an experiment. Like, no Bone Crushers, no Borrowers, no Beanstalk Giant to go with the Clover. Like, there's a lot not to like. Let's try to scry into some of those things. There you go. There you go. Turn 2 Yorvo. Ick. That ant is not good. Let's get the... If they have a Gem Razor, we get absolutely destroyed. But I don't think there's much choice. We just have to play bold from here on in. We're already a mile behind. Alright, Harbinger is not Gem Razor, hallelujah. Bone Crusher Giant, that can kill some stuff. I can take out the Harbinger. Alright, so we play this, we do this. The opponent's pretty close to making Great Henge. Whether or not we take out Harbinger doesn't stop that. This doesn't tap for mana, let's say go. Maybe we can kill the Yorvo if they do things oddly. Or possibly the Yorvo and the Harbinger if they don't play a creature first. Because we could block... Oh, okay. Let's see what happens. So we put a blocker here, and we put a blocker here. No, it doesn't kill both. It's one or the other, right? Alright, let's block like this. I think killing the Yorvo is more important because the beast can't jump in front of it. Waiting for the opponent to make a move. Nothing. Okay, I will stomp you. Hellborn Preserver to grow it. Okay, they did that too quick though. Now I'll just stomp the Harbinger. If they had waited for me to double target it, they'd keep their Harbinger. But I'm sure they feel really smart. Yorvo's a big problem, though. Don't know how we're going to keep up with that turn after turn. Oh my goodness.
Windy skies, leaves underfoot. What a great dare you to stop.
We were behind from the minute this game started, like from turn 1, and now we are just incredibly further behind. This is the most trouble I've ever received from the mono green deck. I think it's because we kept a hand that just didn't interact with them even close to enough. So, we will granted. This is where I wish I had the land in my sideboard. We have to go get an unsummon and a primal might, I think. Cheap answers. Can unsummon the Yorvo. Can use the Lovestruck Beast if it survives to primal might onto something else. But whatever the Garruk is going to plus on, we have to bounce. They're going to the Goose, that's fine.
Buckle under our might.
Everybody attacks. So, we have to send back the Yorvo. Or, hold on. We have to block the Wildborn Preserver. They have another Preserver, but that won't kill it. It's also... I guess let's let them determine what mana to use. Because if they pump this, they can't replay the Yorvo. But why would they pump it? It's going to die. Pretty bizarre. Garruk has a -7. At the beginning of your end step, you may search for a creature. Put it onto the battlefield, shuffle the library. Okay, down to 3. Good draw. How are we going to get to this? So we can put this out here to block the Goose. We can Primal Might to kill the Preserver. And then we still have... Or we can use this and red cap melee? I don't really want to sacrifice a land. I guess we have 2 mana now. Well, one has to kill this thing. And we have to have a battlefield presence too, so that we can attack the Garruk before it ultimates. We could get a Spyglass and shut down the Garruk. That's pretty solid, right? I think that's pretty good. Get the Dragonfire or the Fling. Shadow Spear rebuilds our life total. We are at 3. We're gonna have to solve that at some point anyway. Questing Beast. Awesome. But at least it's 3 very expensive cards. Means we have to go to 1 here if the opponent plays the Beast. Wait, they drew the land? That's lethal. We're just dead. If they see it. They don't see it. They missed it. We live on. Yorvo's here. So, in case you also missed it, they could Questing Beast and then pump the Wildborn Preserver and attack with both. I have to block the Beast and I take 3 and I die. So that's what I was talking about. Alright, Primal Might, pay 0, confirm, you... Wait, it's a fight, isn't it? Hold on. Shadow Spear. Equip. Primal Might. Pay 0. Confirm. You. Take out you. Go up to 9. Boss. Alright, we can also shoot down this Preserver, but we can wait till the opponent commits. We could also shoot down the Questing Beast, but this thing keeps growing. That's a big problem. And we have to do it now. We can't wait until they like put it on the stack and pay for it. That won't work either. Once they've determined how much to pay, there's no pause for me to fire the Bone Crusher Giant at them. We're going to 15, guys. Oh my goodness. The opponent gave us an opportunity. It looks like we're going to seize it. Mom Spaghetti. One land. Nothing like missing those land drops. Let's hold up the Borrower. Or double Borrower, you might say. Another Questing Beast for the opponent. But we get to copy this Borrower. We could bounce the Goose, but they just replay it and make a new food. So we'll bounce the Garruk instead. Which, you know, until they get Gem Razor and blow up the Spyglass isn't doing anything. So if they want to play it again, that's fine. This Borrower can go to the end so that we know this is the stuff we need to play next turn off the Wilds. Go get some land. Why is it sometimes that the lands are sorted and sometimes they're not? Little tilt. Little tilt. It's not the sandboard, but just a little something to drive CGB crazy. Alright, let's play this. G. And the opponent's seen enough pain. Wow, we're lucky to get out of that one. Mono Green gave us a run for our money. Double Innkeeper on the draw. This hand is you, but if we draw adventure creatures, it's okay. Our opponent's just playing mono red though, so we lose. Hopefully we keep their mana busy, killing off our innkeepers while we do nothing. No blocks. If we draw a Fae of Wishes, we're gonna want that card draw. Yep, there's the Bone Crusher Giant. Brazen Borrower off the top. Play another one of these and a Triome. Although bouncing a Bone Crusher Giant is not ideal, so let's hope that they play an Annex or something. Let's try to set up for their Embercleave turn. Of One Mind has not been good. Probably going to cut it after this game and try something different. Hey guys, different format. Let's see what Mono Red's up to. Oh, you know, doing the same thing it always does. Don't worry about it. Just all the same stuff. Supported in every format. Alright. Pretty happy to see that. We can bounce it. Makes this turn a little bit awkward, but that's fine. Subaru. Okay. Subira, the Caravan Commander, can make creatures with power 2 or less unblockable. You can discard your hand, and whenever a creature with 2 or less deals damage, you draw a card. I am curious to try out this card. I can just never stomach playing mono red very long, so that's why I've never played it. We should see if we draw a blue source, then we can cast Of One Mind right now, or we could ramp. Let's ramp. It at least threatens the, let's see. No, not what I meant. Let's put some stops so the opponent doesn't know that we don't have a Bone Crusher Giant. But yeah, if we get another blue, we at least threaten to go like Brazen into Of One Mind. Hit him with the Innkeeper. Well, okay, they go for the cleave. They saw through my ruse. I shouldn't have attacked because there were no stops in the combat. Wow, they put the cleave on the Arsonist? I guess they could make it unblockable. That's a pretty good top deck. Look desperate. If I hadn't played my forest first, I could have played this, got another island, cast Of One Mind, and used the Borrower. Yeah, this card. I mean, part of it's on me, of course, but let's see how the opponent wants to play it. They're going to use a mana here probably to, yep, target the Arsonist. They didn't attack with Subaru. Maybe they don't know Brazen Borrower can only block flyers. Should we take the 5 or should we bounce? I think the opponent's going to replay the Annex. I guess if we bounce this, we don't take the damage, then they replay Annex, then they pump it, then we can block it, and we're almost a Beanstalk Giant. Alright. Last turn they went for it. If they have a pump spell, they might go for it here, like a Rimrock Knight. I think they're doing it. Okay. Anything else? It's 1 away from lethal. Nothing else. I should have just bounced it and not let them have the Rimrock. I was a little greedy. So they can re-equip it and use the Subaru to make it unblockable next turn. That's all their mana. Oh, that's a good draw. Alright, let's play Of One Mind while we frickin' can. Lovestruck Beast. That's a frickin' draw too. We're gonna lose our Innkeeper. So let's get a card out of it while we can. Heart's Desire. Lovestruck Beastie. Bay of Wishes, looking nice. Now we'll just hold priority with the passage, so they don't know if we have a Bone Crusher Giant or not. Although they haven't played around the Borrower or the Bone Crusher that we've top decked the last few turns. We had that one turn where we gave them a tell we didn't have one. So they're doing the right thing by playing this way. Wait for them to commit the 1 more mana to make this unblockable. Interesting. Are they going to use that mana or not? They're waiting to enter combat. Huh? If you're trying to use this, you have to declare the attackers. Then, before blockers are declared, use the ability. No attacks. God, red mages. Should we kill it? We get another turn with the Innkeeper. Maybe we shouldn't. Although, what do I want to do next turn? I want a Fey of Wishes. We don't need the Innkeeper, guys. We're fine. This way they have to re-equip the Embercleave again next turn, use up mana, and figure out how to use their Subaru. In the meantime, we go get Shadow Spear, throw it on a Lovestruck Beast, start gaining 6 life a turn. We could also... Could also blow up their Embercleave. It's kind of their whole game right now. Could also Storm's Wrath. There's options. I tend to Shadow Spear my red mage opponents. They could have a shock. Alright, they're gonna scoop. I was gonna say, they might have a shock for the 1/1. That would be really bad if we put it on the Lovestruck Beast, but they left. Clover. Let's go. Yep, we needed an interactive piece. That will do. Clover. What you got? Thrill of Possibility. Oh my gosh. They're playing Colossal Fling. Is Brazen Borrow just busted against that, though? I think it is. We're probably not casting this, but... Sure. Alright, we could die at any moment now. We just have to leave Brazen Borrower open for the rest of the game. Actually, they can't do it next turn. They can play the Herald, but they don't have... I guess they could have Claim the Firstborn, right? To untap and attack with it. So I guess we should keep the Borrower. For another turn at least. Then we go get, what, Red Cap melee with the Fae, and we're pretty safe. Omen of the Sizzle. Reunion. Vantress Gargoyle, huh? And look at them go. They are drawing cards. We could also get Tormod's Crypt. Yeah, we can get 2 ways to just absolutely wreck them. Crypt. Melee. Game. Fun Police has arrived. Nice try, Brewer. You will be thwarted. Thwarted by our evil adventure-y sideboardy tech. Who next dares face the mighty adventure deck? We have the Beast, the Wishes, the Beanstalk. We don't have the engines, but got some stuff. Kind of curious if this is good. No interactive piece and no engine. I want to see what happens. Beast. I feel that. But are they mono green? Or are they adventure mode? This is mono green. We play mono green. Mono green, mono green. All day. All day. Not taking damage from the likes of you. Lucky Clover. If they have a Gem Razor, it's cringe. At least we get 2 tokens out of the deal. Don't do it. Don't Gem Raise me. Don't you do it. Oh! No! The great power of mono green is that they can smash up on Clover. No blocks. Tramples. Beast mode? Beast mode. At least that might stall the Gem Razor a little. The Horn Beetle, though, it will start growing. So what do we want? Do we need like an unsummon for this thing? Primal Might? Darn it. And Moss Viper. So they're gonna have the fight spells. No attack though, they don't want to trade. And you can't blame them. So I'm a mana short of actually getting to Primal Might. I could just trade these. 2 for 1 myself, sounds horrible. I think we get an unsummon so that their fight cards don't work for a while at least. It sucks that it's face up, but that's the way it works. Like the Moss Viper, Lovestruck Beast technology. Works great with Ram Through, works great with the Beastie. Boss. It's flexing that Lovestruck Beast. Alright. Let's try jumping in front of you. And see what the opponent has for tricks. That Horn Beetle does not stop growing. We're gonna have to deal with it. Yeah, we're waiting for them to point the Moss Viper, ram through at something. Then we have to unsummon it so that that doesn't happen. Hope they don't have second ram through, they don't. Oh, I hate this card. Don't know why Scavenging Ooze triggers me. I mean, it's actually a sweet card, to be clear. It's a very sweet card. But for some reason, it triggers me when it comes down against me. Beanstalk for deuce. Over his back. 5/5 returns. This is gonna be a heck of a ooze. And we're out of cards. We are living off the top. And green still has cards to go. And it's another Gem Razor! No! Anything but that. Anything but that. Oh, we are dead. One good draw deserves another, you could say. But, I'm over here trying to get lucky in a magical sense. My opponent's just wrecking me. Big brain mono green. Should probably attack with the beast. Nope. Has trample, blocking is fruitless. That's a decent draw, for sure. Reset the ooze. Are there cards in the graveyard? Nope. They can't make it any bigger though. If we go for the giant, it's the biggest thing on the board. I think we try. If they top deck a fight spell, we're very dead. But I think we have to go for it. We have to take the window and try to leap through. Another big monster, what a surprise. Viper wants to rumble. Lovestruck Beast wants to rumble. So the idea here is that the Scavenging Ooze can eat these. The weird thing is I just blocked the Lovestruck Beast with the Beanstalk Giant. It's not very good. And the Moss Viper I can block with the 1/1. Okay, looks like we got through that turn and we drew Fae of Wishes. Oh, what do we get? I think we get Escape. Into the wilds. Into the unknown. Alright. Or we get Ugin. Ugin. Now we just have to get to next turn. Play a Fae to make sure we get there. We'll probably end up exiling it to Ugin, but hey. Ugin. Come on, Ugin. Opponent trusts the great freaking henge. So much mana. I can't exile that with Ugin, but I can bounce it. What? Absolute mad lad. I guess they know Ugin's coming down. Alright, so that's a block. That's a block. That's a block. That's a block. And a scoop. Okay. Come on, top 1000, we're coming back. Tap lands of one mind and a Lovestruck Beast in the same hand. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's wait on the scry. We don't know what we're playing against or quite what we need. Here's my heart's desire. Still don't know much about my opponent. Blue and a green. Could be a Wildborn Preserver, but we have a giant. What you got? Let's use Beanstalk Giant. The counter spells, especially for 2 mana, there just aren't many good ones. Flash is pretty dead in this format. Let's play out the Innkeeper, and then next turn we're going to draw some cards probably one way or another. The opponent finds the Bone Crusher Giant. Looks like we get to play a mirror. Lucky us. Of one mind. Wow, epic. Another beast. I think I have to get rid of this. Right now I have no engine. And that's what I need to draw to win this. I need Escape to the Wilds, Fae of Wishes. I think another beast, just another monster on the field. I don't think we're going to out-aggro the opponent. That's usually not the way to play this game, and they have an Uro, so they get some value. They get some ramp. Will the 28 lands come back to bite me? Stay tuned. I think we definitely hold the Giants. It's the way to keep Innkeeper from absolutely obliterating us. Uro Adventure. Okay. So my argument about why I don't play Uro in my adventure deck is that it doesn't put any cards in the graveyard. It puts them in the adventure zone, so it doesn't come back, so it ends up being an awkward ramp spell. Let's see how that holds true and if we get Uro smacked today. Here's my giant. Genesis Ultimatum. Okay, it's a very different adventure deck. Maybe it's a Terror of the Peaks adventure deck. This is something I've wanted to build. It would run Uro, Terror of the Peaks, some of the adventures, but not like Fae of Wishes and not Lucky Clover, I don't think. Wow. Okay. LOL. And they've got blockers. Let's clear one of them. Man, my mana's too bad. And who would guess that my 8th land being tapped would be a trap here? And I couldn't play a giant. Deck is trolling me a little bit right now. So does the opponent have the second Genesis Ultimatum? It's a lot like the new Hydroid Crisis. One ultimatum becomes another. But if they don't kill the Beanstalk Giant... Okay. If they don't kill my Beanstalk Giant, all I have to do is top deck a Fae of Wishes for the win. I can go get Fling, and that's that. They're still a card away from Uro. And you see what I mean? Like, if these were in the graveyard, Uro would be coming back. 12-12, assemble. But the opponent's still dead. They need another blocker. There's the Fae of Wishes. How do I call it? How do I do it, man? How do I do it? We didn't need it, but if they had a Brazen Borrower or an interactive piece, it was the right move. Whoa, now that's a hand. Let's go. Boom. Edgy. Edgy clover stuff. Opponent opens on a temple. So much adventurous value. Let's see what the opponent has. Alright, they don't have 2 tapped lands in a row. They're doing alright. In this format, that's a big deal. Maybe they have Brazen Borrower. They might have Wildborn Preserver, but we have the Bone Crusher Giant, so we're attacking anyway. No untapped third land is a bit ugh. They're taking it. What are they slow rolling? Do you suppose? It is the Borrower. Sure. Still gonna hold on to my Giant. Gotta fight their Edgewalling Keepers. I'm going to assume we're up against Adventures until proven otherwise. I'm also going to keep this passage uncracked to disguise priority, and just make sure I fetch the thing I most need when the time comes. I really don't want to use something like a Beanstalk Giant or a Bone Crusher Giant or really anything without the Clover if I have the choice. Obviously, getting a free extra spell for your mana is nuts. So, I'm okay with being a little bit slower here. Love struck a beast. Okay. Should we use the Bone Crusher Giant here? Probably not. Well, now there's 2 1/1s and a 5/5. Alright, that's hard to turn down. That's some value. Fetch the wrong land. It's fine. We'll have the mana anyway. Top shelf gameplay. Let's see what the opponent does here. They don't have red mana yet, but they also didn't fetch red mana. They might be Simic, which means Innkeeper just sticks against them. All right. Beast will not attack today. Beast too sad. Beast must attend funeral of dead girlfriends. Fae of Wishes. What do you wish? Return to nature? Blow up the clover? That's what I'd do. Great Henge. Okay. Says, I'm gonna race your innkeeper with a powerful card of my own. Alright. Bone Crusher Giant. How to deal with the Henge? We should just try to draw into a Fae of Wishes. Solve a lot of problems. Do we play the Beanstalk Giant here? Or do we escape? I think we escape. I think escape is good. If I could escape, recreate a place that's my own world. Alright, so Clover comes out. This can go get a green source. Heart's Desire, make the 1/1s. Play the Ketria Triome as the bonus land of the turn. And then next turn we get to play the island. We already used the Bone Crusher Giant, but we have triple Bone Crusher Giants next turn. I could have just killed the beast and made this hard to cast with this Bone Crusher Giant after playing the other Clover. That might be a bit better than what I did. But they are spending a lot of time on these, on the Henge and such. I don't know. I don't know. It feels like all I have to do is find a Fae of Wishes, and I solve the Henge issue, but at the same time, maybe I could have just slowed it down anyway, and been better off. Temple of Mystery Scry. I'm feeling Bone Crusher Giant take out your flyers, though. Just kill those things. Another land. $10 mana. So this is 2. Three. I think we play the cheaper cards because we might draw into the cards we really want. More adventure spells. Another escape. If I could escape. I think we'll just escape again. It's like gassing up a jet. More tokens. I think because the Fae of Wishes can be returned to the hand, we're just going to stomp this right now. Alright, no attacks. Let's make sure that we move this over here and this over here so we know that we have to play these next turn. And we can only play one most likely, but who knows? Might draw another Escape to the Wilds. Half the deck gone. Where's those Fae of Wishes, man? Obstruct Beast wants to rumble. What's up with that? Sure. Trades are fine, I think. At this point, I'm pretty sure we win a long game, so trading resources should be okay. I know that's weird to say with a great Henge on the table. What does the Simic version of Adventures do that my version can't? It has a little bit better mana. Mine can remove more stuff. They probably run Merfolk Secret Keeper Uro, and I guess they have a Teferi.
It's not too many apocalypses to let another happen.
We can get Return to Nature and Ugin, though, once we find our Fae. Discard a Brazen Borrower. Gotta play this edgy. I'm just playing all the untapped lands. I'm sure I'll find a use for them. Right, Bone Crusher Giant, draw me some cards. Let's go. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, Beanstalk Giant. Pretty sure I still have lands galore in this deck. It runs so many basics, it never really runs out of them. Which is kind of... that's different for me. I'm not used to running so many basics and never running out of them. But we're down to 2, so first time for everything, I suppose. There's a Fae of Wishes. Return to Nature. What else? Mythic Repeal for an enchantment? Don't think that matters. Ugin, definitely. And then the last mana, I don't think it matters what I fetch, so... Alright. Just making sure I had the right mana available if I wanted to do other things with my turn. Ugin. Return to Nature, and I wish I had one more untapped land, but we can grab the Spyglass for future Teferis, if that's what the opponent plays. We should probably just grab a counterspell, though. The opponent very legitly could be like on a Thassa's Oracle win con or a Mill Me Out win con. They could just have another Henge here, right? Maybe it's better to have the Neutralize and make sure I don't lose. We do have Brazen Borrower that can bounce 3 frickin' things. Yeah, they're not gonna beat me. Not if I hold open the Neutralize. Let's just pass the turn. There's the Uro. Creatures attack. 1/1s with the blocks. Okay, they're playing the Gargs. Saying, I'm gonna make you use that, Ugin, buddy. Fair enough. Fair enough. That I can do. Fae of Wishes. What can they get? Whatever they get, we can counter. And it's the last of their mana. Let's just not allow them to use the Fae. Only bad things happen when you do that. And we get the draw. Now if we attack, the opponent can gain 3 life or draw a card with the Garg. Unless we bounce it. Bouncing the opponent's stuff before you Ugin seems pretty bad. But bouncing the Great Henge doesn't seem bad. And Gargoth, they'd have to play that again. One more forest. It says I have another island and stuff in the deck. I thought I got rid of those. Pretty sure there's... Okay, let's see. Is the tracker lying? It couldn't be. Okay, there it was. Short memory, guys. Bear with me. So, Petty Theft. We'll bounce the Henge. Bounce the Garg. Bounce the token. We'll attack the opponent. We're trying to set them up for the big fling. Do you think they have a negate? That 2 mana is really suspicious, isn't it? Really suspicious. We don't have to be in a rush. One Crusher Giant, that hits for 8. That's a lot. How many Bone Crushers are left? Still 2 more. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That should be enough to do the thing I'm thinking of. Doesn't play around negate, but at least it makes them spend the negate, and we still have an Ugin. And we get 4 cards out of our sideboard, which is not a joke. Fling. Unsummon. Spyglass. Why not? Crypt. It is 8 damage. This is 4. It takes the opponent to 1. Not quite there. Alright, we see the hand. Our opponent has Ugin, Fae of Wishes, Elder Gargaroth, Great Henge. Okay. Interesting. Do we name Ugin with an Ugin in our hand? I don't think so. They don't have a way to get a 1/1. Let's name Teferi. So we did miss lethal playing it careful. The point is, though, I don't think I can actually lose. So if they can't beat me, then there's not a lot of harm in playing carefully. Let's go ahead and get rid of this before they can bring Uro back. Okay, can't attack. I wonder if they forgot about that. That skip to combat, a little awkward. Here's Ugin.
Unutilized knowledge is rotting fruit.
Yeah, those artifacts won't go anywhere. They're doing it for 1. Okay. My turn.
Return to the essence of the multiverse.
I'll get back this giant. We'll finish the job that way. This is mono red. We play mono red, mono red, mono red. Burn the face till they're dead. Here's a stomp. Here's more stomps. And we finish the job. So this is what the red mages like so much. It's kind of fun. Kind of relaxing. Just, you know, point, click, win. Very chill. And we are back for the post-game wrap-up. Of One Mind is okay. I would cut it though and probably play something else in this slot, but I'm not really sure what. Maybe a Great Henge. Maybe not. Great Henge does seem like more value when the main thing you need is to stay alive. Heck, just play the 29th land and you're probably fine. Not kidding. Maybe you play the 4th Escape to the Wild so that you're more likely to draw it. I didn't like having to wish for it. I could just put a Genesis Ultimatum in the sideboard and the Escape in the main deck. But, dude, I don't think it matters. You know what the core of the deck is. Just hit your lands, win games. This thing is an absolute beast and an absolute machine. I don't have a lot else to say about it. It's the scourge of the format, of the standard 2021 format, and all eyes will be on this deck when rotation happens. Heck, all eyes will be on this deck while cards are being spoiled for Zendikar, because something has to compete with this. Like, we're all just going to play TEMUR Adventures if nothing competes with it. So every single card you see from Zendikar, you got to think, well, is it as good as a 1-mana 1/1 that draws a card just about every turn? Or a 2-mana artifact that copies all the spells you cast? Or does it somehow hose these and make these less good? Like Mayhem Devil is a card that's rotating that made Innkeeper less good. You just pick it off at very little to no cost. Gemrazor. Gemrazor is a card that makes the Lucky Clover less good. I think it's why so many people are trying mono green in the format. So, anyway, now that I have babbled about it, we're going to do a quick content creator shout out, as you guys seem to enjoy that a lot. Thanks a lot to everybody who supports these by going to check out their video and leave a comment. I really appreciate it. Today's content creator is Meebo, or Arctic Meebo on Twitter, Mythic Meebo. She is a member of Rivals. She has a Pro Tour top 8. She's a very strong up-and-coming player on the scene, and she's starting a YouTube and trying to give it some traction. She posts a couple videos a week across various formats. The editing is pretty slick. I like that there is some thought into the editing. You're going to say, CGB, your channel doesn't have editing. That's right. I don't. Not my brand, but I like what she's doing with hers, and I think it was pretty cool. Also, takes on bans. Very fun to watch. And I think probably should have some more traction, because this is one of the best players on the scene trying to get their YouTube going. And if you want to check out some competitive content, by all means, go check out Meebo. Meebo. Hit subscribe. Leave a comment. CGB says hi. Engage the algorithm. Help out another content creator. Help them get their snowball rolling. Keep them making content. All right. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.